When we're looking for answers, a lot of times we seek to find certain influencers that point us in the right direction. Why are some people more effective at being influencers than others? Stay tuned. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, and we inspire. Last time we got together, we were talking about the difference between a universal law like gravity and human nature. Things the way, understanding how people react in specific given circumstances. Let me give you a couple of examples of what I'm talking about. There's a show on TV that's, I guess somewhat fairly popular called Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. And the host of the show was a guy named Guy Fieri. Guy, blonde hair, spiked hair, so on and so forth. The earrings, nose rings, he's got all this sort of stuff. Not somebody that I normally particularly watch, but sometimes I'll watch the show if I see something in an area where I'm going to be. The point is, what is involved with Guy Fieri in making that show? He's got to close down that restaurant for a couple of days. He goes in there, he works with the people that are the owners. He films in there. Now, why are the people that are the owners willing to shut down their restaurant for a couple of days and let him come in and film? The answer is obvious, because when they do that, what happens is people see the show, they get influenced by the show, and in the long run, because of the influencer, they're going to get more customers. It's kind of simple. What does he do? He goes in, he shows how the chef prepares a meal, he chows down on the meal and communicates both verbally and with body language to show you, this is the greatest food of all times, you need to come and go to this restaurant. So that's why the owners do it. He's an influencer, all right? As opposed to if I tell somebody to go to a restaurant, they may or may not, well, Eli's dad has different taste than I do, so on and so forth. Okay, let's talk a little bit about influencers. And I want to talk to you a little bit about two people that I know in my life, or one I knew and one I know, one passed away, and kind of the unique background of each one. Okay, now both of these guys were people that I went to high school with. The first one, his name is Bobby Sherman. Now, Bobby Sherman was, when I was a senior in high school, was my very best friend in high school, and he was a big guy. And one of the things he did was he went to this camp that I have now been going to, an organization that I now belong to, and I belong to it because of him. He said to me, he said, you know what, why don't you come up during the summer and be a counselor? They're looking for counselors, and you'd be somebody that would fit in, you love kids, so on and so forth. All right, he influenced me that way. Okay, well, all right, so he's a friend of mine. But when you go up to camp, and they have the old timers week, and I would go up and Bobby would go up. First of all, everybody has a nickname up there. So his name is Bobby Sherman, and he was a big guy. He somehow got the name Tank, as in Tank, Sherman Tank. All right, so everybody calls him Tank. Now, when I go up there, and I've been going up there every year for like 30 or 40 years, I'll see people and they'll look at me and they'll go, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. When people would see Tank, they would go, Tank, my man, how are you? Everybody knew Tank. Everybody. Okay, now people would recognize me, they see me once a year, but everybody knew Tank. They knew him. How does he know all of these different people? I don't know. Okay, I mean, his dad owned a big store in downtown Boston, and he was involved with the community of people in buying and selling. His dad was mentoring him, and he was a very, very good student, by the way. And he knew all the people in high school and all the people. I don't know, but there were just some people that seemed to know everybody. On the other hand, I have another friend named Cappy. Okay, now Cappy is someone that he's kind of a unique individual, loaded with charisma, very smart guy, went to Harvard, and he knows a zillion people. He knows the people from Harvard. He knows the people from his business where he worked. He knows all of these different people, and he communicates with all of them. Now, I'm close friends. We have a group of people. We all stay in the same cabin every year when we go up to this Old Timers Week. And I'm friends with all these people. And if they ask me to do something, they call me on the phone, ask me to do something, I would do for them in a New York minute as they would for me, as they have for me in the past. But I don't speak to them regularly. Cappy, on the other hand, is somebody that I speak to quite frequently, 2 or 3 times a month. And when I speak to him, I say, oh, how's Michael doing? How's Sapo doing? How's Bick doing? You know, all of the people that go up there. I don't speak to them. I see them once a year. Occasionally, I may call them to ask for something, which I've done in the past, or vice versa. But I find out everything about them, how they're doing, from Cappy. Cappy calls every year on my birthday. He calls all of them every year on their birthday. He's somebody that knows all of these different people, and it's a wide range of people. I mean, there's people from Harvard that he knows, and the people from, he was in the textile business, people from the textile, he knows so many different people. Now, not only did I notice that phenomenon about him, but up at this camp where we go, where we have the Old Timers Week, there were different age groups. The guys, I call them the kids, okay? One of them just turned 60, all right? But the guys that where I was a counselor and they were my campers, all right, are now, like I said, some group is like 60. Each group has one guy that's the connector. With one group, it's a guy named Brett. All of them, when they all connect with Brett. And then Brett gives them all the information. There's another group that has another guy. I mean, each individual group has one guy. I want you to stop and think about people that you know like that. There aren't a lot of them out there. And I can't exactly understand the why and because. I just want to point out to you, from the perspective of human nature, that there are some people that seem to know everybody, and you can't figure out why, but they do. They know everybody, and they are influencers. They'll tell you something. They'll give you an idea. That, sometimes, if one of these other guys calls me, the first thing I think of is, because I'm getting on in years, is like, uh-oh, I hope nobody died. That's why they're calling me, okay? And then I say, everybody okay? That's always the first question. Everybody okay? And they go, everybody's fine. Let me tell you why I'm calling, all right? So, I mean, you have those people that are the connectors with everybody. Now, like I said, everybody knows Cappy. Everybody knew Tank, all right? There are just some people that are like that. I don't happen to be one of them. I'd like to be one of them, but I'm not. It takes a certain type of personality, a certain type of charisma, and you either kind of are that type of person or you're not. My point is, from a human nature perspective, it's very important to make sure you can put your finger on who those connectors are, because they can do a lot of things for you in a real subtle ways. Next time we get together, we're going to talk about, with some specificity, the connectors, the salespeople, the mavens. We're going to talk about those people and give you a clearer understanding, because from a human nature point of view, once again, the more you know about human nature, the more you know how people are going to respond, how they're going to react when in certain circumstances, the more successful you will be as an achiever. And until that time, always remember, don't ration the passion, fashion the passion. I'm Eli's dad.